Hello everyone and welcome back to the part 6 of my Redis client implementation. I hope this will be the last part. And in the previous parts, we talked about what we will be doing for this project. We have a couple C++ classes. We are starting by command line argument parsing in the main file, which we are getting host and port. We have 4 classes that we are using. We are establishing TCP connection to Redis client in Redis client header class. We are basically connecting the server, disconnecting the server, getting socket FT, and sending commands in Redis client. And in the command handler, we are handling the commands. Basically, we are splitting the arguments that we get from the user as an input, and we are building Redis commands, Redis protocol commands according to the guidelines. And again, we are using ResponseParser, which we will be finishing in this video. For now, we are only parsing simple strings, but we will also doing parse simple error, integer, bulk string, and array, which will be under Redis protocol 2. These ones we will be doing. And we have some built-in commands as help and quit in our client, as you can see here. I also want to add option if line is quit or exit. I also want to exit by this. I will create a display help function. And I guess we can continue parsing the response. So in the response parser, I will start by simple error. And this will be really simple because what we will be doing is just returning an error. And readline circle FD. Just like parse simple string, this time we are returning the readline, but also this time we are giving an error at the beginning, showing this is the error, and quite simple. Next is parse integer, which is also quite straightforward. I am just going to return readline, and I will give it sock fd. This will be the same as simple string because there is nothing specific we need to check in integers. But I would say these two will be the difficult ones. So let's comment this out. And parse bulk string will be checking for all kind of strings, at least single binary strings. They can be any size. And of course, I will not go that crazy like 500 megabytes. They are encoded in this way, and we need to decode and mean parse and return the string. I will start by saying std string and then str. here. We will have the length, which will be std story length string, and we are checking if length is -1, which will mean null. We will just return saying nil, and we will check string bulk. Bulk is what we will be returning at the end of this function. So I will be saying bulk.resize length. I made a typo. Okay, we have an integer called length that we are checking the length string that we are getting. If it is -1, it will mean it is a null. So we will just print null or return nil. And we have a bulk variable that will be returning. And it will be size of the length that we length in the sense of what we did. And we will start reading. I will have a variable, integer variable called total that we will read less than in the while loop while we are in the length. We will be receiving safely address of bulk until that point, length minus so that, and giving flag of 0. And also we will have a quick check if there's an error. If there is an error, meaning we will be saying error incomplete all data, and total that will be equal will be incremented by r. Again, I have a network connection, so my VS Code is frozen, but I will be back. Alright, I am back. That was a mistake. So we are receiving n bytes into the buffer, which where I have sockFT, and we have our buffer it's called bulk in this case, and we are giving it length minus total read because we want the part where we are reading to return. And now we will consume training CRLF, which will have char dummy, and we will have the HR sockFT dummy twice. I will explain why in a second. I will be adding some comments, so it might be easier to understand what we are doing. So we are first reading the length of the bulk string from the socket, and we are checking if we have a null response. That's understandable, and we are initializing a string to hold the bulk data. And of course, we are resizing. This is also self-explanatory. And we are initializing a count for total bytes set. And we are looping. Debug. We are looping to read debug data from the socket. And we are updating total bytes set in every loop. And to consume trailing CRLFFR characters, we need to first read the CR, and then we will need to read the LF. As you can see, a final CRLF is what is the end of both strings. And that's why we are giving it 2 character of dummy. And we are returning bulk when we are done with this. Alright, this is supposed to compile. Seems fine. I will call server Redis server. Let's just test it quickly if it's working. I say bin my Redis CLI, and I will say echo hi. We don't have it because we need to uncomment this. Make bin again. I say hi. We receive hi. Okay, so we can also now parse bulk string. And what is next is we will parsing arrays. Again, they come in a format which is first number of elements and elements that we are looking for. And again, I will start by saying the string that we will count string, which will come from midline. SockFD will have an integer variable for the count, which will be std story count string, and then we need to check if it is counting. If it is -1, it means we are counting an empty string, so we will returning nil in the mean sense of null. And now we have a string. We also did this before. We'll call it SS, and a simple for loop for int I equals I is less than count, and increment I, which we will have the parse response. So if I not equals count -1, we will have it at new line. We can return okay, and in this part we are parsing array, which of course we will get the count, the number of strings. If it is -1, it means null, so we will just return nil. But if we still have some data that we need to get, we will call parse response, the function that parses all responses. Because it's an array, it will check in the for loop if it can get if it will get the data in these cases. So it will be kind of like the recursive function, but not really. Actually, yes, it will be recursive. It's an array. If it's an array, it will check for what is inside of the array, and it will return according to that part. Okay, let's test the comments. First, simple string. We can just say ping. It says pong. This is good. We can test for error messages. We say invalid comment. That's it. Invalid comment. We will get back on it. And what else? We have integer. We can check. Alright, we are having problem with parsing. Okay, we will fix this now. I want to start fixing by so response command seems fine. I put it for now in this client header. We are giving private variables for port and host. I want to do the same in the client header, so we can call it here. We don't need to initialize, give the variables again in the function, so I will just copy this. Wait for this, but in initializer, we would say port is port and host is host. That's also what we are doing in the this client. So this should be fine. Errors. Let's check what's the problem. Port, just like the one in the client. Am I making a mistake? Let's change this. First, the host and port, and this client. Okay, it was a simple mistake, my bad. And now we are calling This client, which is coming. I say ping, it says bug. I say equal hi, it says hi. Okay, this is enough for now. And I will continue with some fixes. Okay, let's start fixing the problem with one-shot execution mode. And for that, I'm in my main file, which we will need a new variable. It will be a vector, a string, and it will be command arguments. In the while loop, we are parsing for h and p, but we also want to check for remaining arguments. If it's not h or p, it means it is in the main arguments, which will be less than RC. We will have command arguments dot push back, and we will give the argument in that at index, and we will increment the I, and then we will select the loop. And now we are calling our client. This is for reply, and now we need to fix this for one-shot comment modes. And I will have a if statement, if not command args dot empty. So we will check for command arguments. If it's not empty, then we will be executing commands first, which I will have it in my client class later. It will be called execute command, simple name, command arguments, as it will be running the client. So this is for the command immediately, and we will have this for launch fly mode if no command is given. So let's go to client header, and we will have another public function. It will be a void execute command, and it will have the constant std vector, std string, and it will do address. It will have the arguments. And now let's initialize it in the C++ file. And after the run, I will have this. It will be client execute command, which will check for the arguments. If the arguments are empty, it will just return. And else we will have the string command equals command handler, build these commands args. We will use command handler to build Redis protocol commands according to the format. And if Redis client dot send command not working. We will have an error. Say there's a problem. And we'll send command and we will return. And then we will have parse and print response part, just like we did in the run. And same with this, we will have a response, which will use parse response, and it will get socket fd. It will give it to parse response, and we will print them. What's the problem here? Problem. I say make. Do we have another problem in command handler? Let me check quickly. And split arguments. Okay, I will say it looks fine. Let's try this. The server counter failed to send comment. Why did we fail to send comment? So it's in the simple comment. Again, we failed to send comment. Let's take a step back. And just like we did here, where this one, I will copy. We will print comments. And make ping. Okay, I would say this is the right comment. And we are sending comments. Same way. Why did we fail to send comment? It turns out the problem is simple because in the run function, first we are connecting to server, then we are trying to send commands. But in one-shot commands, we are just trying to send, which is not possible because first we need to connect to the server, of course. So I will change this main. In the run, I will give it to command arguments. And then we will call the execute command in run. So this should work, I would say. So execute command. X. Let's take the main back. It was too much. We will in the run, I will give it command arguments. So let's change it. We will check if the command arguments is not empty. If not, command arg copy Ctrl V. Let's change the name to args. If command args dot empty is else, we will just continue as we are supposed to. Let's try this. Ping pong, but we don't need to print what we give. Plus make pong. Okay, when we give it an argument, it is being executed first. And now let's try other possibilities. Let's say I want to give it an invalid command in directory. Yes, we are printing error message saying invalid command. So we know that our response parser can print errors, which is good. Let's try counter, which will be 1. If I run it again, it will be 3. If I run it again, 3. It's good. And we can also try which will say hello world. Okay, we fixed the one-shot comment mod, which is nice. Maybe we can make a function out of it to make things clear, but I will keep it like this. And I guess this is it for our Redis client implementation. We have a working Redis client that we can use in the server. All seems well, and thank you for watching. I think I will make another video explaining how we explain like the overview of what we did in this project. But this was basics for Redis protocol version 2. Thank you for watching. See you next time.